Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Arnie Gulov Singh, CEO Adly, Kip Levin, EVP E-commerce Live Nation, and Cameron Gross, Best Buy.
Great job.
Thank you very much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
That was a great talk. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Arnie Gulov Singh. I'm CEO of Adly. We're an influencer marketing platform on Twitter. And with me, I have three guys who are leaders in the social commerce space. We have Kip Levin, who's EVP of e-commerce at Ticketmaster. We have Philippe Domain, who is a strategic partner manager at Google for mobile commerce, and Cameron Gross, who works in the advanced product development group at Best Buy. So the format of this session is really a discussion, less so than sort of an interview or a panel. But what we really want to focus on is, how do you translate everything that's going on in social media into sales and actually move product? I think we're at the very early stages of seeing companies starting to do that, where sort of the last couple of years were all about building up an audience in social media. The next couple of years are going to be all about figuring out how to monetize that audience. And so we've got some interesting case studies and some interesting thoughts that we'd love to share with you. If you have any questions, please tweet them up onto the screen, and we'll do our best to answer them. So let me kind of kick it off with Kip. So Kip, you guys have done some really interesting stuff around how you merchandise tickets using social media. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So we think about social media really as a great medium or platform to make the fan experience better. And I think if you think about the consumer experience of whatever product you're selling, whatever brand you're marketing, good things come from that. So we started with pretty heavy integration with Facebook. Originally, it started with plugins across various parts of the site. The ability to like an artist, if you like Adele and you're on the Adele page, the ability to recommend an event. And then we built RSVP functionality into our confirmation page so that somebody coming in and buying a ticket to any event could actually RSVP and let their friends know that they were going to the event. And all those things generated traffic or generated stories into Facebook, which ultimately brought people back into the site. And more recently, we've actually done, we've taken that a step further. We saw that was, people were using that. Again, about the fan experience, some of the challenges that we have is that everybody can relate to hearing about an event that they really want to go see, only they hear about it after the event took place. They see the night of the show, everybody's talking about it on Facebook or on Twitter, and they miss the show. So there's an awareness opportunity and an issue to fix. And so we've since added on to that the ability to tag other people who you're going with, and then ultimately share your seat locations as well. I actually have a video. I don't know if it's.
Can we roll Kip's
show a
video
of the latest thing that we just launched.
Hi, I'm Gary, Product Manager at Ticketmaster. Since first launching interactive seat maps, our fans have regularly told us how great the maps are for getting tickets close to family and friends. That got us thinking, what if we made it easier to find where your friends were sitting directly in the map? This leads us to a cool new feature that I'm excited to introduce to you today, the ability to see who's sitting where. As soon as you load a seat map, information about who's sitting where will automatically load, so you can immediately browse around the map to get an idea of where people are sitting. We also show a list of friends and other fans that are tagged in seats at the event, so if you're looking for someone specific, just click on their name to zoom to their seat. Once zoomed in, you can make a purchase, or you're free to browse around for other tagged seats. If you already have a ticket to the event, you can even tag yourself into your own seat so that other friends can look for you. Note that whenever you or anyone else tags a seat, we'll always ask you who you want to share your tag with, whether it's with everyone that sees the map or just your friends. That way you'll always have full control over your own privacy setting. One more thing, you'll notice that some of the information we're showing, such as who your friends are and their profile pictures, it's information we get from Facebook. Therefore, in order to use the new See Who's Sitting Where feature, you'll first need to connect to Facebook through our site. We're thrilled about bringing this fun and social experience to the interactive seat maps, and we hope you have a great time using it.
So again, if you go back to the fan experience, we knew that, all right, if you find out about an event, now, the next challenge was how do you coordinate with people? How do you plan? How do you know if you have other friends that are going to an event, where they're sitting so you can get seats near them? And so, again, this is what was born out of that.
Yeah, it's really cool. One of the things that jumped out to me when I saw that video was how you're getting customers to kind of give you more value after they've already bought a ticket. So, you're creating something of value in return for sharing. And if we just look back a couple of years, Facebook tried to do this with Beacon, but it wasn't really a payoff to the customer of doing it. And I think what you guys have done is is a step forward, and certainly I think it cuts to the heart of what you want to do with social media. I mean, social media is really, it's cheap media. It's cheap, bountiful, abundant media that if you can tap into as a marketer, you can get incredible reach and incredible sort of share of voice for very little cost just by sort of adding these simple hooks. Hey, Cam, as you're kind of on the cutting edge of where Best Buy is looking to go with social media and with commerce and with apps. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're looking at distribution and how you look at Facebook hooks?
Our group specifically is thinking about the trust that customers have between each other, and that to be able to participate in that conversation is I think a place that Best Buy would like to earn, would like to have a seat at that table, and not just be the barking TV in the corner of the living room, but to be sitting down and be a part of that conversation. And those conversations about concerts that somebody might be going to, or that they went to, or something that they might want to buy, like a Blu-ray player or a video game, that conversation moved from being in the literal living room to being on Facebook, which is potentially a benefit to everyone involved, that those conversations become data, and that given the opportunity to listen to that conversation gives Best Buy an opportunity to participate in the conversation and provide more relevant shopping experience.
I think a lot of us as marketers, we spend a lot of time thinking about Facebook just because it's kind of hot, I guess, and huge. But YouTube, Google, probably even bigger. Tell us, Philippe, how can marketers look at Google, in a social commerce sort of through a social commerce lens? What are the best practices for us to be thinking about there?
I think Cameron made a good point that there's a conversation between and amongst consumers, and so that's one facet of social with commerce. And then there's also the conversation between merchants or brands and the consumers. And so the kind of ideal for a marketer is really to listen and to participate in that conversation with consumers. So the way Google's looking at it is really building tools and platforms that weave social into everything both the consumers and the merchants do, providing tools for merchants like Google Place pages, and soon Google Plus business pages, where you can engage consumers in a way that consumers give you permission to do and are interested in. At the same time, of course, all our consumer products we're weaving through Google Plus social services into all those products. So we have an app called Google Shopper, where you can share products and you can share offers with your friends using the +1 button. And I think I'm much more likely to be interested in an offer if a friend sends it to me. So that's a useful signal that can help filter my experience with technology and bring me the right information, the right social information when I need it. Of course, that's just one signal that Google uses to help shoppers connect with what they need. There's social, there's location, your own personal preferences. So I think through technology we can really help consumers find what they need through social signals as well as other information that they elect to share.
How do you guys look at Twitter? You know, it's kind of new, still fairly new, I think, especially for marketers. You know, what are you guys seeing emerge as best practices? Have you guys tried anything? What's working for you guys right now?
Well, at Best Buy, it's Best Buy has experimented with customer service via Twitter, and I hope some people believe with some success. With the 12th Force, what started as an experiment now 2 years ago or something like that. It's been a while, and I know that shoppers are sharing, you know, should I buy this type posts there, but I don't know that friends are having. I don't know that friends are having as many conversations about what I might buy on Twitter versus on Facebook just yet, but I don't know that that's for sure the fact.
Actually, I heard an interesting statistic recently, which is that 1 in 5 tweets, or almost 1 in 5 tweets, mention a brand or a product. So it's a really important channel for consumers to express their feelings about brands.
I mean, we have our social marketing team uses Twitter, I think, really effectively in building viral campaigns about tours or shows or promotions that we're running. We haven't built Twitter integrated into the site yet the same way we built Facebook, so that'll happen at some point. We've just invested heavily to start in Facebook.
How many people are using Twitter for anything other than just listening to customers? Okay. Yeah, I mean, my business is predominantly about Twitter, and you know, what we saw kind of when we started was everyone was using Twitter as a listening post. You know, what are people saying about my brand, and kind of just sort of jumping in and responding. But now we're seeing companies sort of adopt it more to promote upcoming product launches. You know, the thing about Twitter is not as big as Facebook, but the audience there is probably they're the chatterboxes of the internet. You know, the people that like to talk a lot. 20 years ago, they were the kid in school that, you know, never stopped talking. Well, now they're on Twitter. And, you know, you can leverage that as a very powerful channel to have them talk about your brand and share your content. Also see a lot of companies using Twitter to promote YouTube content. So a lot of CPG brands especially, you know, it's not the most exciting product sort of when it's sitting on the shelf, but when you create content, you know, we saw some interesting content this morning up on the screens. You know, Twitter, you can send a burst of traffic very quickly to YouTube that can make a video go viral, or at least give it legs to kind of get it more views. So I'm definitely seeing sort of the early signs, but it is definitely behind Facebook when it comes to sort of mind share with marketers. Should we, has anyone got any questions? Anyone want to ask us any questions, or you want us to carry on? Can't see any hands up. Oh, hi.
Just curious if you could speak to the categories of product you think are most relevant for Twitter. So, for example, the tickets makes complete sense. You know, it's and why you promote it there. But a B2B brand that sells pipes, you know, or you know, you talk about some boring brands, they might not be relevant for Twitter at all, frankly. So I'm just curious, you know, in your collective experience, what do you think are the best categories of brand to leverage, you know, a channel like Twitter, or, you know, versus others that, you know, might put their dollars elsewhere?
You know, it was funny, we were just talking about, in the speaker room, we were talking about B2B and how sort of SaaS companies can use social media, and we were wondering why LinkedIn isn't more aggressive in this area. I mean, I've got like 1,200 connections on LinkedIn, they're all professional, but there's no real mechanism for me to share that I just signed up for MailChimp, or I just signed up for Dropbox. You know, I run a small business, and I'm always trying out these new SaaS services. So definitely there's an opportunity there. And I think with Twitter, it's a similar crowd, a lot of small businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs, sort of early adopter types. So certainly when it comes to marketing those types of products. And then the other category is the stuff that works on Facebook. You know, anything that's great content, a retail works very well in social media, especially fashion, anything that's fun to share. And I think the challenge is things that are not so sexy and exciting, how do you use social media?
I mean, I think, again, it goes back to your customer experience. And you look at who your customer is, whether it's a B2B customer, somebody buying a consumer packaged good company, and say, where is there an opportunity to improve customer experience for somebody consuming my products? And what social platforms can I use in different creative ways to make that customer experience better? If you do that, then things will come. It won't be the same for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. It's not the specific platform. It's what you do with these tools to really help your customers engage in conversation and engage in conversation with them. I suggest everyone at the conference, if you have time after, go over to Times Square. We just launched a product at Google called Google Wallet, which lets you pay for things using your phone. And the American Eagle store in Times Square is right now running a billboard which says, come in and do a tapping spree. So that attracts customers in, and it's a new product. This lets people come in and try the product at American Eagle, and they come in and they can go around the store and basically do scavenger hunt and tap their phones and find deals. And friends are doing this together, and at the end they get their picture put up on the screen at American Eagle. So this has been a really fun experience for customers, and it's using a mobile device, for instance, to create experiences for customers where they can really enjoy interacting with your brand in a way that's an interesting presentation. So I think you can take all these tools and really use them to create experiences where customers get a new engagement with your brand or a new experience that they hadn't had before.
Anyone else got a question? Hi.
I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit how you set up the infrastructure and kind of the workflow behind TwelpForce and how to make all of that work and avoid any potential chaos that could ensue from that.
I got to be honest, I wasn't intimately involved with how that was assembled. I was sort of on the periphery of that conversation and was involved in some of the building of tools that Best Buy used to manage those conversations. So one of those being BBY Feed, which is a tool that was built internally to aggregate, thread the conversations, because Twitter doesn't do that for you, at least didn't at the time. So it gave the TwelpForce the ability to see the conversation, see who had responded already, and if they wanted to add a comment or that sort of thing. But it was one of those things in the beginning where it was, let's try something. And Best Buy is very fortunate to have leadership that is open to trying something new. And not everything that Best Buy tries is the right thing, clearly. Fortunately, I think TwelpForce worked out pretty well.
So just want to wrap up here. I want to go to each of us and tell the crowd one thing that a marketer should do this week in social commerce.
Well, again, I would go back to what I originally said, which is, think about the experience of your customer and where is there friction in the process, and how can you improve that using whichever platform would work best.
Philippe?
I'd advocate looking at your mobile strategy, because the mobile device is something that the average US consumer has within 3 feet of them at all times. So that's the best way to reach customers where they are in real time in your store. So make sure you have a mobile optimized website. Make sure you're taking advantage of mobile offers and other ways to engage consumers wherever they happen to be.
I don't know if I can speak for a smaller business, but for larger businesses, the one thing to think about is is breaking down the silos and being able to build functions of the business so that they can be extended not only to all the various channels that exist today, but all the channels that you don't know, that the next Facebook, the next Twitter that's going to, maybe in the wings 2 years from now or a year from now, to be ready to bring your business experience for your customers to those new places is essential.
And I'd say if you're not doing anything in social commerce, run a deal, promote that deal, create some amazing offer on one of your products, and use social media as a way to test whether that deal can go viral. Deals are like viral videos of commerce, and I would definitely recommend trying that out. So we're out of time, but thank you very much. Thanks to Kip, Philippe, and Cam, and enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.